motivated to live your dreams, actually do whatever that you're supposed to be doing and live your life to the fullest in such a way that you have no regrets. So today I want to share with you a few things on how I start my day. Maybe this is something like a little bit personal, but I think it's worth sharing because there are things that maybe you can learn and they can help you. So stay with me to the end of this video and hopefully it's going to be helpful to you. Okay, so most of the times I like to wake up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock a.m. Actually, I have these ranges because my timetable is very dynamic. There are some other people who have these morning routines and they exercise in the morning, they do this and that, but for me it's a little bit different because I don't really like to exercise in the morning, because most of the times if I have to go exercise, then it means I'll have to go take a shower. When I take a shower, I think like the whole timetable is being distracted because I have a lot of things that I like to do in the morning just before like doing anything else. So the first thing, I actually love to pray. I pray to God. I just set aside some time. Actually, this is the timetable that I've been working on. I'm still perfecting it, but then so far I think it's good and I think it's worth sharing. So I like to pray because I'm a Christian. I believe in God and I believe that life goes a lot better when you pray. Then after that, I actually read the Bible. I have this, most of the times, like, there's some people who get bored reading the Bible, but I think it's something so amazing. Yeah, you might come across some other chapters that maybe you might not seem to be understanding anything, but what I think is that when you keep on reading, there's sometimes when maybe you go to church and then there is this preacher will speak of the very same chapter that you've been reading. I think it's for me it's very enlightening, and for me it's very cool. I love it because I get more understanding. So I love to pray and then I read the Bible. And at first I used to have these random Bible reading schedules, like I might read the Bible in the morning, but I'll just open any book, any chapter and read it. But then I came to realize that I don't have like that effectiveness. I cannot even evaluate like what have I been reading. So I'll just open maybe like Psalms 23 and then read the Psalms and then meditate on that the rest of the day. But I've developed something that is like a systematic reading of the Bible. I know that there's so many applications for that, there's so many issues for that, but for me, I prefer having like reading book by book. So like maybe for example this year, actually the end of last year, I started reading the book of Genesis, and non-stop, like I started from the very first chapter up to now. So I love to read systematically because it shows me like what I've been doing, what have I involved myself in, like what have I been reading, and some other stories I find in the Bible and they're very fascinating. I learn a lot of stuff, and I think it's very helpful for me because it helps me to make sure that I have gone through each and everything in the Bible. So actually I started reading this, I started this practice. I read the Bible, like the whole Bible in Swahili, and now I've decided like I should read it in English, the whole of it. So I'm in the journey of reading the whole Bible in English. I think it's a very good practice for me, and I think it's very strengthening. It's strengthening my faith, and it helps me to get to know like what God is speaking to me. And it takes me like maybe 20-25 minutes or sometimes 15 minutes. It depends on how long the chapters are. But most of the times I prefer to, I used to read like one chapter a day, but then as days went on, I started reading 2 chapters, and now I'm reading like every day I read 3 chapters of the Bible in the morning. And after that, I read a book. Actually today I finished reading the book called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's a book by Brian Tracy. I think it's a very nice book. It's a very, very, very nice book. That book is very powerful. It's mind empowering, it's enlightening, it's motivating, it's inspiring. Like it moves me. Like sometimes you might wake up and you're sleepy, and I can just read like a few chapters of the book and then I feel energized. You know, the person who say that reading is to the mind as exercising to the body, that person was very true. The person who said that statement is very true. Like you feel like you've been exercising and things like that. So it gives me energy, it gives me power, it helps me move on and on doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Like it motivates me. For example, I might have planned my day and then like I feel lousy and I don't want to do anything. I feel like sleeping around. Maybe I'm not going anywhere on that day. But then when I read something that energizes my mind, it really refreshes me, it helps me, it gives me the energy, it motivates me, it gives me the motivation to actually go after whatever that I'm supposed to be doing during that day. And actually, those are the basic things that I usually do in the morning. And then the other thing is that I like to practice my guitar in the morning, because I sing, I play guitar, and I think it's a very perfect time for me to practice in the morning, because I have like total control over that time. It's the time when I just wake up and like things have not been rushing around. So I just sit down, take my guitar and practice my guitar and practice my pieces and everything, because I play classical guitar. So I practice my guitar in the morning. It depends, maybe sometimes for half an hour, sometimes for 1 hour. And I like doing that because most of the times if I don't practice in the morning, it happens like I have so many other things in the afternoon, caught up in a lot of stuff in the evening, and then I happen not to practice at all. So I like practicing my guitar in the morning. I think it's really strengthening my fingers. I like doing my scales and things like that, because actually most of my life is in music, so I love doing that. I love practicing my guitar in the morning. Then apart from that, it depends on the things that I have planned like the day before. For example, in the past few months and weeks, I've been preparing for my theory exam, music theory exam, and it is something that really consumed my time, because I had to revise and revise and revise. So like I'll plan, okay, maybe in the morning after praying, reading the Bible and everything, sometimes even before practicing my guitar, I'll just revise my music theory. All the things that I do in the morning, usually it's within 2 to 3 hours after I wake up. So actually I don't like doing my chores in the morning, because I think when you just wake up and your brain is fresh and you feel like your brain is fresh because you've been sleeping like for maybe for 6, 7, 8 hours. I think it's very important to do some things that involving the mind straight away. Okay, so most of the times people do exercise in the morning, but for me, sometimes I do exercise in the morning, but most of the times what I like to do is I like to walk a lot. So sometimes maybe if I'm coming from work, I'll just have this portion. I'll walk like maybe for 30 minutes. I'll walk like maybe for 40 minutes. It depends on the day and depends on everything. So what happens is that instead of exercising in the morning, I like to walk a lot. I like to walk just to keep my body fit, and yeah, I don't like exercising in the morning. I don't know why, but I think everybody has their own way of life, and it can be very cool as well to exercise in the morning, because I've also tried exercising in the morning, but just because I could not really balance exercising and some other stuff. Like most of the times if I exercise and then I go take a shower and then I sit down, maybe read and study and everything, it really distracts my timetable. And if I actually work on my timetable, my morning routine, whatever some people call it, golden hour or something, most of the times if I do all of that, then it really moves me to other activities rather than going to exercise. But most of all, I prefer exercising in the evening, and I love to walk other than doing anything. Sometimes I used to do skipping ropes and things like that, but I think walking is the best for me. Yeah. That's all. This is actually something that I usually do almost every day, every single day. This is what I do in the morning before I start anything, and I think it's really empowering my life. I think it has changed my life somehow a lot, and I think it's gonna change my life a lot as well as days goes on. So I just want to encourage you, like, sit down and see whatever things that you have, all the things that you want to be doing, and all the things that you love to do. Look at your career, look at your health, and the things that you want to do in life, and then design something that's going to be empowering you. The thing is, sometimes people might wake up in the morning and then they'll just go straight to the social media, maybe Facebook, Instagram, maybe text messages, WhatsApp messages. Myself, I don't like opening up my social media before 8 a.m. Most of the times it can be maybe after 8 a.m. or sometimes 9, even 10 sometimes, depending on the routine that I have. Before you add anything that is an outside input, I think it's better to sit down and just do the things that you can do that within you, because sometimes when you go on social media, you just read a post and then it might distract your whole atmosphere, and you might end up be doing the things that you never wanted to do actually. So I think it's very important for you to sit down and just do the things that you want to do, and then you'll go to social media later. So sometimes I may even wake up and then put my phone on flight mode and then just do everything, because most of the times the books that I read are on soft copy. So I read them on my phone, and sometimes even the Bible, I read the Bible from my phone. Otherwise, I use the Bible that I have, the hard copy. But then most of the times I want to eliminate all the distractions that might come on the way, and just help myself concentrate and empower myself before starting my day. So, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with friends and anybody who is going to benefit from this. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you, and wish you a